Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Reata Horsemanship. I'm Luke Brown, and I'm very excited to be with you here today on Winning Wednesday. And for today in Winning Wednesday, I want to talk to you a little bit about compounding interest and how important that is when we're talking about investing for our future and investing for our retirement. Before I get going, I'll let you know I'm riding Chooch again today. Here's Chooch, and we're on Wednesday, so he just has 2 more sessions after today. Now tomorrow I'm going to do an extra session with him with his owner, so I can teach her how to lunge him. I think he's a horse that needs some lunging, just a little bit, some lunging, some yielding his hindquarters, just some movement on the ground to teach to make sure that his mind is right before she gets on him. He has a tendency to get a little bit ornery and act like, kind of throw his head a little bit and act like he wants to crow hop some if he gets a long rest. Maybe, like, let's say he was off for a week or two and then she wanted to ride him. She definitely want to lunge him a little bit just to make sure his mind was right and that he's listening to her and not getting silly on her. And so he just has that kind of personality, but it doesn't take very long at all, a couple minutes to work him through that. And then he's very, very nice to ride out on the trail and anywhere, really. And so I'm excited to help her. And then on Friday, we're going to do our last session with him, or she's actually going to work with him and then ride him out with me, and I'll be riding another horse. That's what we do here at Reata Horsemanship, and I love it. I love helping people and helping their horses become safer and have a safer, more fun relationship. And today for Winning Wednesday, I'm going to talk about compounding interest and how important that is when you're investing your money. And so if first of all, now last week I talked about investing, setting aside some amount of money that you commit to every month that you can put into investments and save for your retirement. Because time, you're always you're trading time for money right now. Usually if we're doing anything where we put time in and then we get money back, we're trading time for money. And time is really our most valuable resource because we only have a certain amount of it. There's no extra time. There is not any extra time. All we have is the time we have, and we don't know how much time that is. And so when we're trading time for money, that's a big deal. So what we want to do is get to the point where we're not trading time for money, where money is actually working for us, whether we're putting in that time or not. And that has to do with investing, whether it's investing in somebody else's business or investing in real estate or investing in gold or whatever it is that we want to invest in. We want something to be able to give us an income in the future so that we don't have to put time for money, invest time for money. So the power of compounding interest is, Einstein said, compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. And Einstein was a genius, obviously, and he understood, but it doesn't take a genius to understand the value of compound interest. Now, what is compound interest? That's basically when you put, a lot of you know this, so I apologize to go through this. If you do know it, I don't mean to insinuate that you don't understand this, but some people might not, and that's okay. We're all at different levels of investing and understanding finances. So compound interest is basically if I take $10 and I put it in the bank, or I put it in an investment and I make 10%, I make $1 this next year. So now I have $11. Well, that $11 then makes 10%, and that makes $1.10. So I make 10 cents more the second year on 10% because of compound interest. And then the next year it's over 20 cents, and the next year it's over 40 cents. And it just keeps compounding like that. And the more time we have to invest, the more that interest compounds, the more our money compounds, and the more it exponentially grows. So the further down the line we get, the faster that money grows. So that's called exponential growth. Initially it starts real slow, and then it starts to build and compound, and pretty soon you're making a lot of money because you're making a lot of interest, and that's the basic gist of compound interest. So I wanted to explain the value of compound interest. I want to tell you a little story about 2 individuals, a father and a daughter. The father's name is Joe. He's 40 years old, and his daughter's name is Jill, and she's 15 years old. Now follow me. I'll try to be clear about this story. So Joe and his daughter Jill, they decide to start investing. He's 40, she's 15. And so he puts $600 in his investments every month until he's 65. So he's 40 till he's 65. So for 25 years, he puts $600 a month into an investment. So his total investment, the total amount of money that he puts in, is $180,000. Now let's assume that he makes 8% interest every year. He averages 8% after fees. Now that's a little bit high probably to expect, but let's just assume he averages 8% and his daughter Jill averages 8%. So he takes that $600 a month, he puts it into investment, he makes 8% a year, and the amount of money that he puts in is $180,000. The amount of money that he has to spend at retirement at age 65 is almost $500,000. So he puts $180,000 in and he has almost $500,000. So he almost tripled his money. Not bad, not bad. He started at age 40. So then let's look at his daughter. His daughter is 15 years old. And I'm going to give you two scenarios with his daughter. One is she's going to save for 5 years and then stop saving. And one is she's going to save from the time she's 15 till the time she's 65. So if she starts saving at age 15, she finds a job and she's going to save as much as she can. So she's going to put $300 a month into her investments. So $300 goes into her investments for 5 years. So she puts a total of $18,000 into her investments. And then she just stops investing. She decides she's not going to do it anymore, and she stops investing and just lets that grow compounded over the years until she's age 65. When she turns 65, she has nearly $800,000. It's like $797,000. So about $800,000 in her bank account or in her investment fund, in her retirement fund. So Joe, her dad, had $500, a little less than $500. It's like $470,000, and she had almost $800,000. So she had over $300,000 more money than him, and she only put in $18,000. He put in $180,000. So you see the value of compounding. Now, let's assume that Jill is smarter than that, and she's going to start at age 15, but she's going to continue to put $300 a month until she's 65. So she invests from age 15 to 65. For 50 years, she invests $300 a month at 8%. The amount of money that she has to spend in retirement is $2.4 million. So the total amount of money that she put in is $162,000. So she invested $162,000. She has $2.4 million. Her dad at age 65 has $500,000. So she has almost $2 million more and invested actually less money than him over time. $162,000 and he invested $180,000. So bottom line is this: if you haven't started saving and for retirement and investing your money, get started today. It doesn't matter, the best time to start was a long time ago, or as they say, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. And so if you haven't started, start today. Make that commitment to take a certain amount of your income. I would recommend a minimum of 10%. If you can't do that, start with 3% and then build that over time as you make more money. And the extra money that you make in the future, put it into your investments, and it won't be long before you're saving 10, 15, maybe 20%. If you can save that much, 15 to 20%, and you're relatively young, you're going to be sitting very, very nicely at the end when you want to retire, so that you don't have to you don't have to trade your time anymore for money. And that's the value of compounding interest. I hope that helped you guys. That's something that we're working on in our coaching programs, is to help people budget and help people find that money and help people invest that money. Now, we're not investment advisors, but we're life coaches, and we help people find a way to first of all commit to that, to get motivated, commit to saving, commit to investing, and to help that interest compound over time so that you don't have to trade your time for money. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Until next time, stay safe in the saddle.